Dragracadabra, Drag Race fans. We are here to discuss Season 11, Episode 10. Stay tuned for all of the magic.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Yeah!
I feel like you guys, we have an update on the music. This is
very loud.
And also, AfterBuzz TV's new music, so we don't have to go looking for royalty-free songs on the internet.
Yeah.
We're not going to jail. Yay.
So that's the song.
Yeah.
You guys should write lyrics to it.
Okay.
Ooh, let's do it.
Some bars.
That's next week's challenge.
Some busy bars.
I'm your host, 123 Jackie B. Mark is at the Emmys,
Right.
daytime Emmys?
Daytime
Yeah.
Emmys.
Daytime Emmys, interviewing people right now. So he's not here this week, but he'll be back next week. And we have Jayla.
Hey, y'all. I'm back. It's me in the house.
And Ollie.
Hi, guys. Ollie here.
And
Super
Jayla has an announcement. I am also wearing Jayla's lipstick line.
I have an announcement.
You have an announcement. Your makeup is going to be on Pose.
Oh,
Yes!
yes. Oh, my God. I forgot all
Which is
about
incredible.
that. So thank you, Ryan Murphy and FX and Pose for considering Batman Cosmetics to be one of your featured cosmetics on the show. So if you watch it, tag me, post me. Thank you.
You should buy it now.
I know.
So you're like wearing it when the show comes back on.
Yeah, and create your looks and tag us at batmecosmetics.com.
Yeah!
I was like, wait, I'm pregnant? Again? Not again.
So this episode was about magic. Someone in the chat room had a comment about how Mark and I would have made it through the challenge. Jayla's safe, and then Ollie goes home.
As long as Jayla is the one to send me home, I'm fine with that. I'm
Actually,
totally
but you know
fine
what?
with
I'll
It was
pull,
an
I'll
epic
pull a
lip
Ben Della
sync.
Creme. I'm like, I'll go home for you.
that. No,
A
Jayla,
crown doesn't make me a winner.
No.
I appreciate that you all think I know things about magic, and I assume that's just because I seem weird.
Well, I think you like dark magic.
You like
though.
Harry Potter.
I like Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
she likes dark magic.
I do like dark magic.
That reminds me, I got some pain in my neck, you know.
I like voodoo dolls.
Do you have my voodoo doll?
I have everybody's voodoo doll,
Oh my god. Okay, we gotta watch out with this one. We gotta
including one of myself, just in case. So I, as always, enjoyed this episode because I think magic is fun, and I actually now want to see a drag show with magic in it.
Okay.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Setting the standards high.
Yes. Hey, I know it can be done now, so
is
now I'm going to
right.
ask for it.
Agree. I like the episode. It's a new take on Drag Race. Like I said, I was kind of worried about the producers because they weren't really producing much content. But a magic show is great. I think like they didn't really explain the magic trick because I'm like, how do they know that already? So I was a little skeptical. But it was cute.
It's nice that they're doing new challenges that they haven't. I don't think they have they had a. I don't remember them having a magic.
I don't think so.
To have to do those complicated tricks in drag is probably really annoying, so props to them, though. I don't know. I kind of think the episode was not rigged, but I feel bad for who went home this week, definitely.
Oh, we will discuss that because my texts are like flying out to people not on the panel so that we didn't ruin our conversation, but I was feeling some kind of way. The mini challenge was... I wrote this down.
Balls to the Wall.
Balls to the Wall. That's what it was called. And Delta Work came in to be the ball girl.
That's a little awkward now. Didn't she get a pink slip?
Oh, no, why?
I don't know. Comments. You guys tell us, why did she get a pink slip? She's no longer works on the show, I don't think.
No
but
way, really?
I don't know. It's allegedly. But yeah, so Delta Work comes in and
picks up balls.
No, that kind of, I think that might have something to do with maybe her being on Hey Queen. Maybe she said, she like talked a lot about the intricacies of like the backstage process. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because that sounds like I feel
right,
like
because I know I'm not lying. I didn't just pull it out my ass.
that makes
I know
sense.
somebody
she's
like
still,
mentioned it.
at least she's still an Emmy winner, right?
I know. Take those Emmys, girl, and you run home. You run home. You run home.
We'll see what the chat has to
Yeah.
say.
But it was fun. It was like a funny
Yeah.
challenge. I liked it when like Silky lifted her partner in the air.
Yeah, Silky is the new Mimi on first. Drag is a contact sport, okay?
And I appreciate the, like, they're milking the Brooklyn Vanjie thing with Vanjie shooting dagger eyes at, like, anyone Brooklyn was touching.
Oh, my God. And then did you like that or no?
Like, I enjoy it because, like, Jayla, we've not had a showmance on the show before, so I'm enjoying it.
Jayla, the producers are producing. That's what you want, right? Right?
Don't you want some dick in the soup?
Literally?
Yeah, maybe just the tip.
Okay.
I would have to say this episode, I did get a little bit of like Ru milking the cow.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Ru was stirring dick soup in
absolutely,
this episode.
Because like we need another Emmy. Like now that Plastique's gone. Why are you laughing?
You're just, because it's you and I love you.
Oh, I love you too, Ollie. And I love you guys out there. But she was definitely like, stirring the pot and just definitely like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? So
I mean, she literally went, okay, well, let me do a step back and just announce the team. So Vanjie wins, which made sense to me because it seemed like she was getting the most balls in. And then picks the teams. So the Black Magic is Vanjie, Evie, Silky, and Akira. The Mighty Tucks is Brooklyn, Nina, and Suga. And immediately we get this storyline of like, like Vanjie has picked the showiest queens, so she's probably picked the best performers, which was weird to me because Nina really has been a good performer this whole time. So I was like, I don't feel like Nina is quiet and or a bad performer.
Yeah.
But putting that aside, so it becomes this whole storyline of like Nina and Brooklyn and Suga overthinking things and Vanjie's team feeling overconfident. And then you have Ru come in and kind of stirring the dick soup and being like, hey, Vanjie, why didn't you pick Brooklyn? Hey, Brooklyn, don't you feel sad that Vanjie didn't pick you? And I was glad that they didn't take the bait. Like, both of them were like, no, we're here in a competition, and we understand that it's a competition and it doesn't bother us, yada, yada, yada. Because, like, that really would have annoyed me if suddenly Ru making that comment turned it into them being angry at each other. Because I'm like...
We'll save that for the next time when they have to lip sync against each other. It's going to happen. I will bet you $5.
5 cents.
I would bet you $5 that we will have a Brooklyn versus Vanjie lip sync.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be the end of that, so they don't have to carry that storyline anymore.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get it next week.
Well, I definitely think Vanjie screwed up picking the teams because she picked, her friends, plus Evie. I was really surprised she picked Evie because they had that falling out. I mean, they reconciled, but I think those queens are very strong queens. I think they're great at hosting. However, as a team... clearly they're going to be speaking over each other and just not be working in a cohesive unit.
Well, she picked her, it's Vanjie, Silky, and Akira, or what did they call themselves? I don't remember what their...
Oh, yeah.
They were like a...
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls,
right?
yes.
Dreamgirls? That's their... Right?
That's when you're supposed to go to commercial break.
They're the little clique of the season, so...
Yeah, the Dreamgirls.
Yeah, so they all picked each other, and they were relying too much on thinking they could do improv for this, which I thought that the whole gist of this was that you had to create a show, so it's implied that you're like writing a script, because I don't understand how you're supposed to, assuming none of these girls have done magic before, you're supposed to know how to do magic and then trying to be doing improv on top of that seems like very unwieldy. So I agree with the whole like Evie thing. Evie and actually it was Vanjie too who said, yeah, we should write some stuff down and not just do improv.
And not just wing it.
She learned that from last week too.
Yeah.
There was a time when it was a curious moment of commentary.
Yes.
And it was inaudible. She didn't say anything and it was just the face. That deserves an Emmy on its own. Do you remember that? When she was just like,
I don't remember that.
That's the best part of the episode.
I gotta go back.
You have to. That is like my mood and everything.
That's when the guy was sticking the balloon in his mouth,
and she didn't have anything.
And
to say.
She didn't have anything to say because they were like, "This is the trick you're going to be doing," and she was just like, And
it was like a good 30-second clip. It was great. Who was your top for the actual main challenge?
The Mighty Tucks.
Totally.
The Mighty Tucks, all together?
Yeah, as a team.
Yeah, Nina definitely clearly was the front runner of that team, but no one was bad, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree.
They weren't as strong as Nina, but no one was bad in that group.
I think the other thing, being a person who does enjoy seeing magic tricks, I felt like the black magic, the magic trick kind of became like second to what they were doing.
Right.
And
they kept talking about a barbecue, and I'm like, where is this?
Yeah, like, and some of the magic tricks were just boring. And I know it's like you had like a list of magic tricks to pick out of, and like the bag with the ketchup or whatever it was in it, I was like, I am so lost. I can't watch this part. Like it was like watching a train wreck.
You just needed to do what Nina's team did, which was incorporate the tricks into the storyline to make the tricks stand out and pop. You were there. I feel like they were trying to make themselves pop and be funny.
The only trick I remembered after watching it the first time was the whole Vanjie floating in the air thing, because I felt like that's actually when they were doing their like strongest bit. And so the other times I kind of didn't remember it, and I had only thought of like what they were doing in rehearsal rather than what they were doing on the stage.
What group was Brooke in?
Nina's
group.
I don't think they did great cohesively. I just think Nina did good.
Yes.
And she carried it.
Yeah. Nina
Brooke
steered that
played
ship.
the same character that she played last week, just with clothes on. And then the week before that, and then the week before that, and the whole, I am a hippie ballet girl. I'm like, here we go again. Now,
and also, like, the other thing that bothered me about her in this challenge was they gave her a harder challenge, which was that, like, card floating in the air trick.
Yes.
Which I felt actually would have been great for her because she's a dancer. So you could have
had your leg up and let it go around you.
Yes, you could have done something very visually beautiful with that trick. And instead, she pulls out, like, a marble and is like, I've got bubbles. And I was like, no, I'm not here for this.
Missed the mark. There was a Raven cameo.
Really?
Yeah, she was in the crowd.
Oh, she was. I didn't even notice that.
Was she in drag or out of drag?
She was out of drag.
Oh, okay.
You pick up everything.
Wow.
Yes, in my 4K HD TV.
That's what it is.
Courtesy of Jackie B.
That's what I'm not watching it on the 4K.
What are you watching it on?
On my phone sometimes.
Oh.
At least. It wasn't a good week, y'all.
You watching it out of your neighbor's window, like.
Wherever I can get Wi-Fi, I mean, come on.
Yeah, there you go. As long as you're watching it.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean, some of those tricks were underwhelming. Some of them were cool. Like, I actually did think the swallowing the balloon thing was cool because there's a level of, like, danger in that.
How do you do that, though?
I don't know.
Mary, you tell us.
No, I'll tell you how it's done.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh.
Flaming Saddles.
Right?
Roadhouse.
Roundhouse kick.
So you tell me, like, is it gum? Is it like a real balloon?
I assume that you're biting the air out of it. Like, I would assume that you bite the end to release the air. Like, bite a hole in the end, and so when you're eating it, you're like slowly releasing the air into your mouth. So it's actually
ruin the
flat.
magic.
I don't know.
I need to know. How do you swallow a balloon?
It's just my assumption. I assume that you're like biting a hole into the end.
Because I'm thinking about going to America's Got Talent. Okay, I want to do that
and doing the balloon trick.
Actually, believe it or not, Jackie, you actually were right. You put little tiny holes at the tip of the balloon to actually execute that.
Oh,
balloon challenge. So yeah, that's pretty much how it's done.
This is me watching magic tricks trying to figure it out.
Do you put the holes in with your teeth, or are there already holes in it?
I would assume there's already holes in it.
So you gotta hurry up and do it. Like, I hear the balloon.
Exactly. So it's like because it's gonna take the balloon a while to deflate. So while you're chewing it, it's like deflating.
It seems like it's done with needles, pretty much, and you're just picking it at the tip, and then that's pretty much how it's done from there.
Thank you. Thanks for confirming that.
Our swallowing hot dog trick.
The more you know.
The only other one I could figure out was the silky one. I assume that liquid is like slowly being released to the floor, but I don't know how.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know
how do you put milk? Look, we're Googling everything. How do you put milk in a construction paper?
But see, that was another one that like
but
I feel
it wasn't like wet. When
I
she
feel
did
like
this.
I know. I feel like they did get a little, and it probably has to do with the paper too. I feel like they got a little short shrift on their tricks because like that you have to be talking the whole time you're pouring, or you have to be talking while the other person's chewing the balloon, because otherwise it's just you standing there for a really long time, which is what happened. It was kind of like, wah, wah.
Boy. Oh,
so
okay.
I feel like the thing that Nina did so great was like not only worked it into it, but she's like talking the whole time like this bottle is for this person, this bottle is for this person, you know. So she
it was so great. Now how did she do that? Like,
yeah, that one I have no idea.
I definitely think she learned her lesson too from working with Brooklyn in the past. How Brooklyn took over that scene, and Nina was like, "No, this week I'm gonna take over and really shine." And I think that's why she won.
And Brooklyn still didn't give her credit. Which was, you know, like
I
she
could have
doesn't.
sworn she did, though. I could have sworn last week she said, I thank Nina for this. At some point. She said, I couldn't have done it without Nina.
Oh, she did it in Untucked. She said it in Untucked.
Okay. Oh, I thought she said it on the stage. That's
I think
why
she said it in Untucked. Yeah.
Okay.
Because at the beginning of the episode, she, like, Brooklyn was like, I did a great job. And Nina's like, I think we did a great job as a team, kind of hinting that it was, like, her work.
Okay.
And Brooklyn's like, yeah, I did a great job.
She said it, but I just didn't know where. I stand corrected.
Yeah, no, she said it in Untucked because I remember when I watched Untucked, I was like, there is the credit that Nina
deserves, yeah. Well, she opened up the show lovely. I was all smiles when I seen it. I was like, good for Nina. And then everything else came, and I was like, I'm ready to not go to this barbecue.
And the other thing was this reveal when Silky came out. They were folding that sheet so many times. I was like, did they lose her? Like, what happened?
Okay, if you watch it back, when they did the switch between Silky and Akira, they lift the curtain too high, and you see
I did see that.
You see Akira's little feet running behind the stage.
Oh, no. I really wonder if they filmed it twice.
I'm sure.
You think they did? Probably? Okay.
Yeah.
No one fell, right? No one, like, fell on their ass, so that was good for them, I guess. Akira's feet.
Yeah, it was just so, like, I don't know. It was one of those things where, like, the first time I was watching it, when the black magic came on, they were bombing, like, that whole intro scene. I was like, this is taking too long, and I don't understand what's happening. Yeah. So I was like, I think this is time for me to, like, go make a salad. Like,
have a snack and come on back.
Just get to the runway. Like, that was me during this challenge. I wasn't that fond of it. It was cool, but I was seeing how the black magic performed. I knew they were in the bottom for sure.
I think though it can like I said, it can be, if you have the right queen as a host, I think that would be like a very unique drag show for somebody.
Well, yeah, because it sets the tone for your group, and you have to be mindful. That's what we learned last week about, like, the improv. You got to learn how to listen to people, and it's always a yes and. So
yeah.
So let's talk about the outfits.
Bring it to the runway. Okay, first off, RuPaul. You owe Honey Mahogany an apology. A formal one. And nothing you says matters unless that camera is rolling.
Oh my
I'm not going to have a job after this. But no, how can you send someone home
for wearing a caftan and then have a challenge based on a caftan?
That is the ultimate slap in the face.
She should have at least brought Honey Mahogany on for the episode.
At least.
But Honey, didn't Honey wear, like, lots of the same?
She wore lots of caftans.
She wore lots.
The same silhouette.
Yes.
But she's a goddess, okay? But Honey Mahogany, Vivian Panay, I'm sending you both home. So, I don't know. I felt like that was a major slap in the face. And Ru, you owe Honey Mahogany an apology.
True. I loved Ru's outfit, by the way.
And then my car is going to be slashed.
I loved Ru's outfit because the theme seemed to be like 70s chic, because the outfit he wore in the workroom was like this great, like, Saturday Night Fever-esque kind of outfit.
With the leather glove cut out.
And then
new hair color, people in the chat.
Oh, yeah, the red hair.
Yeah, and then on the runway, it was like another version of Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
The ladies' version.
Well, she still owes Honey Mahogany an apology.
We'll see. Maybe
justice for Mahogany and justice for Sugar.
What about Vivian Panay? Can't even say her name.
So Silky was the first one up. I actually loved this outfit. I thought, to me, this was one of her best. I thought the hair was cool.
Silky,
she has these big ball hair.
But Silky in this runway, I love you, sis. But she's giving me something that I would buy from AdamandEve.com.
The hair.
Maybe the end of it. But I didn't like the little point at the top, the satellite. The look is great. She looks great with her orange and sequin and sheer caftan with her balls to the wall hair. It matched the mini challenge. Good for her.
I liked it because I also thought this was something like you would actually wear to Palm Springs. you know, some of the outfits I'm not so sure. So then we have Evie. That is Evie, yes.
Yes.
I love this too because I thought it was a very like haute couture kind of look that she had going on here.
I like that she always just turns the runway into her brand. I think this is very
it's something
Evie.
that she wears
very,
around the house.
Sexy, post-apocalyptic, but still very fashion, like Palm Springs.
Yes.
The little distracts, the holes. Definitely my favorite of the week for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my
and
favorite.
the yellow I think was a great contrast on her skin.
Yes. And then we have Akira, who got knocked for not having a caftan. And that was the thing is, like, I did love this look, like, with the butterfly wings. But I agreed with Ross. It's not a caftan.
It's not.
This is the thing. Butterflies and Drag Race do not mix.
Yes,
we
you
learned
know
last
that. You know
season.
that.
This is terrible. It's like a bodysuit with
just wings, yeah.
It just reminds me of like a
And
parachute.
RuPaul's season 2 wig. Yeah, from the Tyra Mail.
But her makeup looks great.
Her makeup
Yeah,
always
the
looks
purple.
amazing,
The
though.
purple did look good on her skin.
Yeah.
The purple eyeshadow, good for her.
I know they mentioned that in Untucked, but her makeup always does
on
look
point,
so
yeah.
good. Vanjie, this outfit, like, so she's got this like cheetah print caftan with like a headpiece and a nose ring and some jewelry and stuff. Like, I liked it, but what's bothering me about Vanjie is I've commented several times about how she's not wearing padding. And when she went to lip sync, you
See nipples.
you see her man nipples coming out, and I'm like, girl, you couldn't have just worn like a breast piece for
or
this
a
one?
double-sided tape.
Yeah, or double-sided
you know.
tape or something. So
The
I
girls
don't
are
know.
getting mighty lazy this season.
yeah, and that bugs me because I was like, you know, you're gonna lip sync. Why didn't you like really put forth your best?
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's like the same reason why when people's like wigs fall off during their lip sync, I'm like, glue that down.
She just looks hidden in this or something. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the nose ring personally, and then it just doesn't have a great shape like some of the other people. Like Evie has a great shape, and then
It looks too big.
Yeah.
And then here we go again. This is like maybe the 5th week I've said that her runway does not match the Vanjie brand. These are things that people have designed nicely and gave them to her because it fits her or this is her size. This doesn't say I'm Vanjie. This says I'm getting ready to, because I've seen queens who do their makeup and stuff like this. They'll put the little makeup dress on and it looks like that.
Yeah.
and that's that.
And that's that.
That's that. So Brooklyn, she had this like see-through glow purple caftan with a gold bathing suit underneath it. Brooklyn has this way of wearing clothes that are very simple, but because of the way she like holds herself and moves, they look
Sells
very
the
beautiful.
garment.
Yeah. So it was like, I was looking at this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so beautiful. But part of me is like, I do want to see her sometime. Well, I guess she has done it. We're in some like complex outfits. And then when she wears them, I'm like, oh, it's either too much or too little.
Yeah.
Is
Now
anything-
I'm concerned. Is she wearing flats or is she wearing heels?
I think she's wearing heels,
A
but
biscuit heel.
they look.
biscuit
I would have
heel.
wore like a yellow pump.
It's very
Yeah.
nude.
Yeah.
Very nude.
Let's
or
see.
They might be see-through.
Our producer's zeroing in.
Oh, they're biscuits. Okay.
That's
Olive Garden,
interesting.
when you're here, you're family.
The thing about Brooklyn is
They're, like
she
see-through
always
biscuit shoes.
she always looks good, but I'm a little like there's something about her that I'm like bored of. It's almost like there's no. I'm not like inspired anymore by her looks. They're
it's
almost
the-
just too polished or something.
It's the tall
It's not
blonde
a-
hair. It's
it's
the
not a-
blonde hair thing.
Maybe so. She does wear lots of blonde now that you mentioned it. I'm just not inspired by her looks anymore. Whereas when I see Akira, well, not Akira this week, and I like Brooklyn, but I
Pull the lever.
see pull the lever, Rue. I get inspired by looks like from Evie and Akira, but not Akira this week. So I don't know.
So are we booting Brooke today?
It's a nice garment.
It's a nice garment.
She looks good.
So Suga was next. I agree with everything Michelle Visage said about this. When she came out, I was just like, no. Girl, this looks like your bathrobe, and then you take it off, and you got some kind of like
Beachwear.
42nd Street beachwear, like the musical 42nd Street, which is a very random, obscure
I
reference.
did like Suga's hair, with the flips.
Yes.
Ah.
It was nice hair. It was like a weird... I felt like this was like her Hugh Hefner bathrobe. It
Yeah,
was
and a
just-
Peg Bundy like after the, I don't know.
I think
I'm trying to give her justice because I didn't want her to go home this week.
I think she
didn't either,
really thought she was gonna be sickening with those 3 reveals, and they were all terrible.
And they should all match. I was like, why are we going from like dark red to like 1950s?
She was losing the caftan. Like you're taking all this fabric off. This is the challenge. So I was so disappointed because Suga has some good looks.
If she would have done that, I would have done a triple reveal with one fabric. Like I would have done that, take it off, have another one, like through it, turn, and then have another one, and then turn, and let that be your final caftan.
She should have done the reverse. Put them all on.
You come on the stage with a suitcase, and you're opening it up
on the conveyor belt.
It's the opposite of a reveal.
I actually would really enjoy that.
Yeah,
Somebody
people pay me
do
to
a
put
bit.
it on.
And then Nina. Yes, that's Nina. I felt like this is something you would see in Palm Springs, so I felt it was totally appropriate. I'm not too keen with the color.
Now I must say, Nina is giving me Shrek 2 fairy godmother this time.
Who else did you say that about? Did you say Nina?
Yes,
It was always
Shrek
Nina.
2. So this season, she has 2 Shrek 2s. She's giving me fairy godmother this week, and I love it. I'm here for it. Nina's listening. I like the. This is like RuPaul hair too. This is like Glamazon hair.
I actually really like the color on her. I don't think I like a dark lip on her. Maybe that's something that
dark lips on her.
Yeah, but yeah, I actually like the color. I think I actually kind of like it better than Brooklyn's, honestly.
I'm not a fan of that like sugary bubblegummy pink.
No, I eat that shit up. I'm sorry. That's my brand,
I'm just
Jackie.
not, because like I feel like this is something like that would have been in the Delia's catalog in the 90s. So that color.
What, the lipstick?
The dress.
The dress. Oh no, the dress is giving me Home Shopping Network 2.
Wendy Williams on HSN, yeah.
Maybe like what's her name? Oh, I can't think of it. Paula Deen.
Paula
Deen. Paula Deen before the wedding.
You don't think
before the wedding?
It's very,
before the racism.
Oh my God, it's very Lady Bunny, very Dolly Parton. I don't know.
Okay,
I could appreciate.
It's very 9 to 5.
Yes. So let's talk about that controversial ending. When I watched it, I was like, how. We had a challenge in this season where an entire team did bad and you made the entire team lip sync against each other. So here, you acknowledge that one team did better than the other, pick the weakest person from each team to lip sync against each other. And I was like, that doesn't seem right to me, because I do think that Suga did better than, for example, Evie. I feel like even though Evie said, like, I wrote this all down, she really did bomb. And this is coming from someone who has, like, been standing Evie this entire time. This was not her week. So I felt personally that the bottom should have been Evie and Vanjie, but it's like, I know they don't want to do that because they were just, I feel like they just put Suga in the bottom because they felt like sending her home.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Suga's not really, I love Suga, but she's not contributing anything else to the storyline, obviously.
I guess that's what happens when you get dropped off. The bus stop leaves. When you get to the stop, it's your stop, Suga was a fan favorite of mine, so she definitely may get Congeniality or All-Stars. Okay. Or it will give her a World of Wonder presentation.
I do think Vanjie did better in the lip sync than Suga.
Yes.
Suga did the same. She stood there with her eyes closed. She was doing it.
Got Charlie.
For iTunes listeners, Jayla's just pointing at everybody.
She did the exact same thing for the ball challenge. Remember when she lip synced against? Who did she lip sync against? I don't know, but she did the exact same thing. No.
I don't know.
Honey. But this...
I can't remember that far.
It's so funny. I kind of wish...
I had to remind myself last night that Raja was still on that show at some point. Oh, it was Raja.
Was it Raja?
Yes. James Brown.
Okay. Well,
I was doing like an in memoriam at the end of this in my head, and I was like, Raja was on this season. Scarlett was on this season.
There's a funny theory that every queen that was in the 6-way lip sync is getting sent home, and the last one's remaining from that lip sync is Akira. So everyone's like, "You in danger, girl," but I think she's fine.
We'll give her 2 more episodes.
But yeah,
she'll get top 5.
I agree in the fact that Evie did do bad. I think it should have been Vanjie or all 4 of them, or just that team. It should have been a week where there's a losing team and a winning team.
Yeah,
and the winning team's safe. But
I feel like also like part of this is that Suga doesn't say a lot backstage and doesn't say a lot in the confessionals.
She just say girl, 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 girl.
And
she's not being baited when RuPaul comes around offering dick soup. So
yeah.
And I don't want to think she's a filler queen. Like,
well, that's what happened. They're all fillers. Send them home.
I'm sending you the.
I'm sending all 6 of you.
Who did you think should be in the bottom, Jayla?
I would have to say, of course, Vanjie did okay, but Vanjie, yes. And I would have to say Silky.
I would agree with
Silky because Silky has not been in the bottom yet. And she is getting a little lazy, getting a little comfortable. So this lip sync, even if they don't send her home, let it be a wake-up call.
Right.
I was surprised, too, that it's like they called her out on her outfit for the challenge and made such a big deal about how that team was bad, but then they sent Suga home. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, justice for Suga. Suga will get her redemption. She's going to be like the same way Monique Hart. Like,
yes.
You know, she comes there, she slayed, we'll get a chance to see her again. She'll slay again, and then she'll be loved all over the world. Yeah. So,
and this is just a random thing, but backstage I was noticing, or not backstage, in the workroom, she had this gorgeous turquoise jewelry, like this.
On her wrist, yeah, yes. She wears it everywhere.
Yeah, and I was like, I like that. I feel like she should sell that because I would buy it.
Yeah, if Ru didn't buy it already.
You know. Put her name on the back.
Yeah. I'll call you an Uber.
So our mirror moment this week was from Untucked.
This is when I get my triangle. Bing.
Untucked was a lot of... I felt like I liked Untucked this week because there was a lot of more like productive, constructive criticism of each other. And so I was like, I'm glad there's no shouting right now. Mm-hmm. And Brooklyn's mom came in, and I cried during this episode because I thought this was really sweet how she was talking about how her mom found out she was, and I didn't bring quote of the week because I totally forgot that, and it's something Mark usually does, but that would be my quote of the week, was like the mom's story where she was saying how she found out that Brooklyn was gay because they went to like a secondhand store and she was buying all these dresses, and then she was like, oh, okay, well, and she was, I guess, you know, this is you coming out to me, and that she was just saying like your children are given, she felt that her children were given to her so they can mold and shape her. Mm-hmm. And I loved that because it was like, she comes from a super Christian background, and instead of, you always see these stories with these super Christian parents, like just shunning their kids, and instead she was like, oh, this person is teaching me something that I need to learn. And that was what was so beautiful to me, was like she turned it around and instead said, okay, I have to learn something from you about like how society should be, rather than like, oh no, I'm going to stay in my box and like just shove my kid away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so kudos to Brooklyn's mom.
And it was nice seeing emotion from Brooklyn too. It was like, oh, it's a sweet, vulnerable person up in that tall drink of water, you know?
Yeah.
And I think parents like Brooklyn's mom deserve to be parents, you know? Like that was it was a really beautiful scene.
It breaks my heart whenever you hear these stories, because you're like, that's your kid first and foremost, and you can't, like, you have to let your kid be their kid, and can't you like just celebrate them? Yeah, I get so frustrated. The pressure, just the pressures of social norms in society. Gotta follow suit of heteronormativity.
Let that go. Yeah, let it go.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, one time I told my mom I want to wear a pom pom strapped to my head to school, and she was like, whatever. I was like, that's how parents should be. Like, if that's what makes you happy, I guess go do it. It's not hurting anybody. It was not a hit. Don't wear a pom-pom on your head.
It was
to
a boot.
school.
Was it a boot, Jackie?
It was a
It was
boot.
a boot. All right. She's lip syncing this week.
Fans of the week. I actually pulled these
Yes.
up because I thought they were such nice comments. These are from iTunes. Thank you guys for commenting on iTunes. Why is this thing? Okay. So one is Marga108, who said that they feel like Mark plucked the words right out of their mouth, and that no other Drag Race podcast has such poignant and diverse perspectives.
Oh, good. Yay.
Which I thought was really
Thank
sweet.
you for letting us be the number one ESPN of TV talk.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then 77 Mateo says they normally watch us on iTunes, but they are on YouTube, but they came to iTunes to make a comment, and they wanted to give shout outs to queens in the DC area. I too am from DC. Haven't lived there in many years, but that's where I grew up. India Laurel Houston, and then from Miami, I guess they're from Miami as well, Fantasia Royale Gaga.
Oh, I love
right.
Fantasia. I know her.
I'm gonna.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's I've known her for at least like 4 or 5 years. Because I lived in Florida at a time.
Oh, that's
and-
right.
Yeah,
that's
and
right.
she is one of the performers at the Palace in Miami, South Beach.
Nice.
So yeah, shout out to her.
Speaking of which, why don't we'll do our local queen before Meme Queen, so we can get
Yeah.
our local queen.
Well, damn. Now I want to look at those local queens. But
Yeah.
Our local queen is Mark.
Yes.
I mean Lorraine Love.
ladies and gentlemen, since in honor of Mark being at the Emmys and not being here, I have to shout out Miss Lorraine Love.
Yay!
Our
I love
mother.
her queen.
Get a queen that could do both. She's doing the Emmys tonight, and I just want you guys to just show her some love. Follow her on at Lorraine Love on Twitter and Instagram.
You gotta spell it faster like he does.
and you gotta
LORAYNELOVE.
and I want y'all to just like push for her to like make her like she needs to like come out again. You know, I want to see more.
Yeah,
Lorraine.
maybe we'll see her at
Well,
the
that
finale.
means you have to dress up as her daughter again.
We'll see about that.
We'll see at the finale everybody's looks. We'll see.
Go follow her. We love you. We love you,
Yay.
Lorraine.
We love you. Kill it at the Emmys.
So Meme Queen.
Yes, thank you guys so much for sending me all these
Oh my
crazy
God, I haven't seen
memes.
this yet.
Now, this one I personally picked for myself because this one I can this is a whole mood for me. And this one comes from at Drag Race World. And what I sleep on is my nice IKEA bed. And what the judges sleep on is sugar cane. Justice for sugar cane. Justice for sugar cane. Justice for sugar cane.
All Stars 5.
All Stars 6. Give her a break. Because All Stars 5 comes on tomorrow.
That's right.
That's true.
It's like in the next 5 minutes after the show.
It's actually on right now.
It's on right now. We are All Stars 5. Everybody else said they didn't want to do it. And then news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV.
This is a lot of big fanfare for a very little amount of news. The only news and gossip I have is that on Audible, Kate McKinnon just released this it's like an audio series. It's not a book. It's just like an old timey radio series.
Okay.
And it's called Heads Roll Roll. And Bob the Drag Queen is one of the characters in it. Plays one of the
Okay.
characters, and Tim Gunn.
This is like a voiceover story.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, great.
it's
I
like
love
set up like an
those.
old timey radio story, and it's real. I just finished it actually before coming in today, and it's really hilarious. Kate McKinnon is just so funny, and Tim Gunn's role is actually really big in it, and you'll notice Bob the Drag Queen's cameo as well. So, and there are other Meryl Streep's in it.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Oh. For more news, Iggy Azalea did a new music video, and Banji's in it. So
Yeah, and Trixie too.
And Trixie is really cute. So check that out. You know,
That's a random-
You love Banji.
I do love Vanjie.
Vanjie was also in
but
her-
Vanjie with Trixie seems like a random pairing to me.
Well, they're in different scenes.
Yeah, it's
oh,
really
okay, okay.
I have gossip. So today we just released the Kimora collection.
Oh,
We
yes.
partnered up. Me and Batman Cosmetics partnered up with Kimora Black from RuPaul's Drag Race season 9.
Yes.
And she has her own Kimora collection of eyelashes. So go get them right now. BatmanLashes.com. I'm sorry, BatmanCosmetics.com/Kimora.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next week. I am your host, 123 Jackie B. With me as always.
Oh wait, hang on. Here it comes. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. You guys can follow me on the gram at Who is Jayla Roxx. That's 2X's3 if you're nasty.
And follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Drennan.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.